Hello, and welcome to another installment of Billboard Comics. And it's another installment of our guide to the people who love comic books, which we call the Girlfriend's Guide to Comic Books. Um, this time we are going to talk about the topic will be which characters belong to which company. Um, Obviously, for long-time comic book readers, uh, this might seem like one of the most silliest topics you ever want to talk about. Obviously, everybody knows who is with company and stuff like that, uh, but you'll be surprised by how many novices don't really realize what's going on. Most people know that, um, Batman and Superman might be on the same team, same company, but they don't know if Spider-Man is also involved in there, or perhaps even like the X-Men. What company do they belong to? Are they in the same universe, same comic book company as the Justice League? Um, and we take it for granted because we grew up with comic books and know the imprints and know the different um, teams and stuff like this. So we know exactly how that works and how it goes about doing that. But a lot of novices don't. So I'm going to try to do a brief primer of how, just let you know which characters with uh, um, which publisher, and therefore which movie thing and everything, so on like this, and which ones do not share the same universe, and how to tell when you're away from there. Basic download kind of like take on this is, um, if you have not seen a movie with the characters featured in it together, they are more than likely not in the same universe. Um, you have seen Superman and Batman with Wonder Woman in Dawn of Justice and Justice League. So they are all owned by the same company, DC Comics in this case. You've seen Spider-Man in with the Avengers, um, which includes Incredible Hulk and Captain America. So they are all Marvel characters. Um, but when it gets down to, like, say, the X-Men, X-Men has not been in with the Marvel character until recently, when the Beast appeared in the post-credit scenes for Marvels. But that should let you know that the X-Men characters of the Avengers or anything like that. Um, on the other side, DC Comics has had a bunch of movies that have not been, um, like you have the whole Dawn of Justice, which of course led into the Justice League, but also included like Aquaman and Shazam and the Suicide Squad, and they're all part of the same universe. That means they are all owned by DC Comics. DC Comics is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, so that's why Warner Brothers does those movies. Um, Marvel is now owned by Disney, which is why the Disney Corporation puts out all the MCU movies. Um, but many people probably know that already. They know, like Superman is with one company, Spider-Man's another. But what gets confusing when you get down to lower tail characters like Doctor Fate, who appeared in Black Adam, or Doctor Strange, who had a movie of his own on the MCU. Um, Sometimes in this similar theme, you don't know what's going on. Uh, Doctor Fate is obviously a DC character. Um, Doctor Strange is obviously a Marvel character, um, but it's kind of hard to break that down. Um, but how can you tell the difference? Like I said, like if they print like other outside of the movies, because sometimes it's not a good indication, is what company owns Morbius, and would they want to admit that they own Morbius? Um, I have, uh, I wouldn't, but they are owned by Marvel. All the movies that came out from Sony, Venom, Morbius, Madam Web, and Craven are owned by Marvel. They're all Marvel characters, all villains or supporting characters from the Spider-Man series of books. Um, when you get to stuff like, there are actually like comic book movies that were made with characters that are not owned by Marvel or DC. Hellboy, for instance, is a creator owned by the artist and writer Mike Mignola, but it's usually published through Dark Horse Comics. Um, trying to think of what other stuff like this. Um, but if you're talking about, like, like from the state of comic books, um, try to be as simple as possible. So I could give you like the least amount of information that you need, just the bare bones minimum. Uh, if you're looking at comic books, and if your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, mother, father, son, daughter, whoever, likes Golden Age books and likes Golden Age superhero books, um, featuring bigger characters, more often, odds would be good that they were for DC. DC has a more robust catalog of Golden Age comic books and characters in there, so um, always good to specify. But if you're looking for stuff like you're looking for a specific like character, like say Hour Man, like you want to get like all the appearances of Hour Man in Adventure Comics, you would look for DC, not Marvel, first. Um, Marvel has a lot of like the newer comic book heroes and stuff. The Marvel Universe started in 1961, which, granted, is um, like over 60s, like almost 65, 60, almost 65 years ago. Not quite, 64. Um, so it's been around for, calling it new is like how new is it? But compared to DC, which was around since the 30s, it is new. But Marvel did have some characters in the 40s. Captain America started in 1940. Um, the Submariner and Human Torch started in 1938. They are all owned by Marvel. At the time, it's known as Timely um, Comics. So it's kind of like they they're all part of Marvel. Try like talking about TV. If you think about like want to know who is part of Marvel, who's DC, the Arrowverse is on CW, and CW is it was owned in part by Warner Brothers. Arrow or Green Arrow, The Flash, um, Legends of Tomorrow, all of them, Batwoman, um, Naomi, all of them are from uh, DC Comics area. And good thing to remember all those and anybody who appeared in those like splinter characters like Elongated Man or Ra's al Ghul or Merlin or John Diggle. They are all part of the DC Comics universe. Um, Anybody who has appeared in the Netflix shows, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist, or the Disney Plus shows, Loki, Agnes Harkness, um, Wanda and Vision, of course, uh, Moon Knight, She-Hulk. All of them are all Marvel because they appeared on Disney and Disney owns Marvel. That's a good way to keep those characters straight. Um, but if you have any questions about this when you're going forward in life and stuff like this, um, the internet will be your friend. Um, Wikipedia, every Wikipedia page for any character will show like start off with like Moon Knight is a Marvel Comics character. You know, Miss Marvel is a Marvel Comics character. They'll be able to help you out. Just you'll probably get with even having to hit a link. Just put in Google, put Moon Knight, and it'll just pop up as one of the search features. Um, but if you really need any help, like finding out where these comic books that are featuring uh, these comic book heroes are, they can always ask help the people who work if you have a local comic book company, a store. I mean, ask them. They will be more than happy to help you and tell you what's going on. And if it's one of their stores, they will not mock and ridicule you for not knowing which company Black Canary is for. And it might not even be an issue, but like this is only a case of like certain places break down their Marvel comic books and DC comic books into different sections. So instead of spending time going through the Marvel books looking for any Black Canary books, you could instead go directly to DC Comics because she's a DC comic character. Um, and we would keep that in mind is because she was in the Birds of Prey movie, which was put out by Warner Brothers as part of the DCEU. Um, uh, for further, probably like go to Wikipedia, look up DC comic characters. So it'll give you a list of every DC comic character that there is. Same with Marvel. Um, some of the other characters, like the Crow, is owned by James O'Barr, and he's been published by like numerous corporate companies and comic book companies over the years. So his circumstance is a little different. Um, when you get past the big two, it's kind of like hard to like hard to figure out. The only thing you should know that if that they are not Marvel or DC. Crow's not Marvel DC. Hellboy's not Marvel DC. Um, Walking Dead is not Marvel DC. Marvel was published by Image and owned by Robert Kirkman. Um, it's creator-owned stuff. Uh, the Umbrella Academy on Amazon. That's published by Dark Horse, but it's owned by Gabriel Way, I think. No, Gerard Way. Gabriel Ba was the artist on that, of the comic book. Um, Sandman is a DC Comics thing, which is on Netflix. Um, but it was heavily influenced by Neil Gaiman. I don't know if he has ownership stake in it or not. He probably doesn't, but that's another kind of like outlier. But if you watch this stuff, you'll see like at the top like DC Comics and Vertigo Comics, and which is a sub imprint of DC Comics and Warner Brothers. See how confusing it is? And this is just like it's like I said, it's hard to keep track of all this stuff. Um, but just know like one of the major oldest comic books characters are from DC, like guys who have been around for 80 years. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, um, Flash. There's been multiple versions of the Flash. Green Lantern. There's been multiple versions of Green Lantern. They're all DC. Newer, younger, more grittier, more like less godlike characters. Um, if you have to choose, one of them would most likely be Marvel, like Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, Fantastic Four, all those guys. Um, so yeah, um, I hope this helps you out. But I'm going to open this up to Christian. If you are a novice and need to know like which character is owned by what company, put it down in the comments, and I will help you. And if anybody else is watching this, they'll probably be able to help you too. Um, or if you have any other unique ways of figuring out which hero is with which company, put them down there. Help me out. Help us all out. That'd be great. If you found this useful, or even if you didn't, hit the like button. Subscribe because there'll be more videos like this in the future. And yeah, um, share if you think this is a good thing to share. So, all right, keep on collecting.